Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
The Last Jedi. Donovan.
Wrong movie, pal.
It was just fitting. It was fitting.
Like,
we're getting Star Wars.
It works, yeah. What's going on, everybody?
I was going to be Skywalker.
Don Walker?
I was going to be Skywalker, but...
That might have been all right. I don't know.
Not today.
Thanks for checking out the Roundtable, guys. This is episode 33 of the Roundtable, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. And yeah, it's pretty much, I don't know. How was your week, Don?
Good. Busy.
Yeah. A lot
Lots been going on, yeah.
Yeah, there's been stuff that I've been wanting to be at and things I wanted to see, but we'll get to it. In the meantime, as per usual, if you don't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PWLookBack on both of those. Send us a DM if you want topics, questions for the show, ideas for championship lookbacks, anything. We appreciate all of that. Head over to iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube if you're not already. Hit the 5-star, subscribe, like. We appreciate all that stuff. Thank you very much. Anybody who's checked out the shows, honestly, in the last 2 months since we've started, we appreciate the hell out of that. It's a lot of fun for us to sit down, but we appreciate you checking out the shows as well. Check out teespring.com/pro wrestling lookback for some merch. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Salsa, SCELSA.
Mine is at JustDon44.
And Younger is at ZJVY93. I think I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Because I keep fucking that up in the past, but, you know, it's the round table and we're here. We're back. Like I said... the
cool-off period is here, eh? Cool off.
Yeah, toned down from Mania week.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll get to it. We've been brainstorming quite a bit about what we think the roundtable may or may not turn into or what stuff we're going to be having coming out. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in us or if you've been likening, Jesus, Don, can't even speak. But if you've liked the kind of mixed bag of topics that we've started the roundtable with the last few weeks, let us know because we're going to keep going forward with that and see if maybe we can start some sort of other show. But in the meantime, thanks for checking out this show. And, you know, I don't know. I want to get into a little bit of my own, you know, downness that I had this week because Star Wars Celebration is back.
Yeah.
And this is an event that I went to in 2017 and really enjoyed and wanted to go to again. Shout out to the Order 416. Some of my buddies got a little Star Wars cosplay group from Toronto. They have a sweet logo. You'd love it. I'll show it to you off air. But yeah, so they were down there, and obviously everybody, big Star Wars fans, were down in Chicago for the 5-day Star Wars celebration. All kinds of panels and videos, and not stuff that we're going to get into on this show, but the biggest thing from it, I think we should talk about this on here because I like this, beginning shit that we've been doing lately. The Star Wars teaser. You kind of teased it at the beginning, wrong movie, but it's all good.
No, but I am the Last Jedi.
That's what
Jedi.
you're... okay.
You know that.
Fair enough. Yeah, all right. The Rise of Skywalker teaser.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it this week, and then me and you watched it before sitting down and recording.
And this is the first time us talking about it.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about it on the phone or
off
pod. This is it.
It's cool. Well, that's why I like these beginning segments of the roundtable. Don't worry, the wrestling's coming. But yeah. So, what do you think? Are you?
Oh, I'm excited.
I mean,
sure.
It's kind of hard not to be.
You know what? I was I guess not with everything happening, because me and you kind of speculated, when a trailer might or might not come out. But I guess this obviously makes sense. Good time to do it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense with Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. I'm sure they were waiting until Celebration to release the trailer. That's the same way they did it when I was there in 2017 for The Last Jedi. But I don't know. They didn't give us a lot. Mm-hmm. JJ definitely didn't show us too much of what's going on in the movie, aside from maybe kind of the end of the trailer. Obviously, spoilers, I guess, for the trailer if you haven't watched the teaser trailer. But with the Death Star wreckage is kind of what we think the crew there is looking off into the distance at the end of the trailer, and the cackle of Darth Sidious kind of to close out the trailer with the title being of the movie, the Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. I'm excited. Obviously, anybody who follows me on social media from the show knows how big of a Star Wars fan I am, and I'm sure you've seen some of my collection shit, or some of it in the studio here in the pictures, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much to go into.
Well, what did you make of that, your boy, Kylo?
I like that the helmet is back.
Yeah.
I definitely stood up and applauded and cheered when I seen him fixing the helmet in the teaser trailer, because I was a big fan of the helmet, and when he disposed of it in the last movie there, Last Jedi. I wasn't too happy about that, but I'm happy that obviously he's in the movie. It's not, I sound like an idiot here, but obviously he's going to be in the movie. I just think this is going to be the big decider whether this guy's full-on bad guy or full-on good guy in this movie.
What do you want?
I kind of want him to stick to the bad guy side, but if I had to think, I really think him and Ray are going to team up again, and
I don't want that.
We'll see what happens.
I want him to do the turn, the final, just stick
the heel
to
turn.
It. Yeah, just stick.
Stay heel. We don't need a babyface turn.
Put the helmet on and
from Kylo. No, and I want to see a fucking lightsaber duel, man.
A good one.
As much
a
as
nice one. Yes.
As much as Last Jedi was, it was what it was. The lightsaber duels were lacking. There was none. We had an amazing throne room scene with Rey and Kylo, but I don't know, the whole lack of lightsabers clashing in that movie.
Battle.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer, especially with the way The Force Awakens ended.
Yeah,
possibly, in my opinion, one of the best lightsaber battles that there was. So
that was a good scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope we get one of those in that movie. If it's not Rey and Kylo fighting each other, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited for the fucking trailer, and we'll talk more, I guess, Star Wars leading into December and The Last Jedi. But once again, shout out to Order 416. Sorry I couldn't make it there with you boys, and hopefully I'll be there with you 2020 in Anaheim next year. So yeah, shout out to Star Wars Celebration as well. Great event. If any Star Wars fans are listening to the show, something you definitely want to check out. That's for sure.
I'd love to go to something like that, man.
Oh, dude.
Wicked.
I would love to go to Comic-Con now that I've been to a Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
I would like to go just because it's a bit of everything, and it's significantly bigger, but I don't know, it would still be cool because there's a little bit, you've got your anime, you've got Marvel and DC and comics and Star Wars, and fuck, everything's there, really. I can't think of something that, obviously, unless it's sports related, which they probably still have sports stuff there too.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never been to a Comic-Con, but...
No, same. Crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We're not the most educated guys in breaking down teaser trailers here, but I think it's still cool to bring up for our listeners and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
There was a big fight there on the weekend, Don. I know you wanted to bring this up on the show.
The past UFC card. Excuse me for not having a notepad or my notes with it written of the exact number. And there's so many 234, 232. I don't know. We're in the 230-something mark, and two amazing fights on the main card happened. It was so we had these were two. You know what was interesting, man? There's all these this was for interim titles. Yeah. Number one contender shots, quote unquote.
I don't know. That's the one thing I think, well, not the one thing, but that is one thing that pro wrestling does a lot better than MMA, and that's if you're injured, you lose your belt.
Well, the whole interesting, funny part about that was, I thought at the end is in a post press conference, we had Dana White, the prez, saying, well, that's for everyone who, doesn't like interim title fights and think they don't mean shit.
Why? Because it was a good fight?
Just because both fights, these guys went all, like, these people are talking like these were two of the greatest fights of all time. Like, these fights are up there.
Yeah.
They were fucking amazing.
I don't know. I can't speak too much on this, but I don't think that's what people are complaining about. I don't think it's, these fights are going to be shitty fights. I think it's, why don't they just fight for the actual belt?
Yeah. Who
cares about the guy who's the champion and hurt and can't, if he can't fight, he can't fight.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way I look at it, but I'm not.
In these circumstances, sometimes I agree, and I don't like them all the time. But in these circumstances, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I was okay with it.
And
now it sets up two huge fights in the future, which is going to be good.
So yeah, so what were the two fights? It was
so we had the middleweight fight, which was the co-main event, and that was between Israel Adesanya, the style bender.
Yeah,
crazy kickboxing background, amazing, unique kind of guy. A lot of people compare him to a Anderson Silva, John Jones type of. Cat.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen clips of him fighting Anderson Silva, actually.
And he was fighting Kelvin Gastelum.
Coach from Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Somebody we watched some of that together, so I am familiar with that guy.
Crazy, man. Crazy fight. The height difference was huge in the two guys, and they went full 5 rounds, and I would honestly say that in the 5th round is really where it was the deciding factor of the whole fight.
You know what? I heard that on one of the shows I listened to that very, very lightly covers MMA. They mentioned that it was kind of anyone's game after 4 rounds, and then the 5th round was kind of the decider as far as who was going to win. And it's cool. That's kind of like a movie or kind of like a good storytelling fight. Even though it's not storytelling, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It tells a good story naturally.
And I think both guys, their stock just went way up.
Yeah.
Both guys, win and lose. Like
that's
because good. you built a star in Stylebender. You know, people are really already getting behind him as like a next big thing. And now to see him be battle tested, he's never been in like a 5-round war like that.
Okay.
So to see him be battle tested and get rocked and survive and be taken down, a lot of people didn't think he could, survive those kind of situations on the ground and shit. So
yeah,
it was insane. I was standing up. I was loving it. Sometimes, and not to trash on pro wrestling or our wrestling fans, but I think with me, I'm like an odd one who I love both of them so much.
For sure.
But there's definitely certain things that I don't get in pro wrestling that I do get from watching MMA.
Example, like that being...
Just that unpredictable excitement at times that I
think
don't
it's
always
just,
get.
I was just about to say...
But I do get it sometimes from wrestling.
That's what I was just going to say. I think it's more few and far between in wrestling, because you said it yourself. I don't always get. Yeah. No, we certainly do not always get. Yeah. We rarely get that on a Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we get it. It happens... in the collection of 5, 6, 7, 8 top matches of the year, some of those are the ones where you start to buy in. I know yourself, the Pete Dunne and Walter, from this past weekend or 2 weekends ago of Takeover. That might be an example of something similar to that.
Even going back, that pay-per-view.
Yeah. So Gaslin and Stylebender. So Stylebender is now the interim.
Yeah, and he's got a date with Destiny with the champion Robert Whittaker at a later date.
And is Whittaker's the guy that Gaslin was supposed to fight before, and then I don't want to get into this.
You're not a big fan.
Yeah, not a big fan of the Whittaker, but
so Nick's rooting for Stylebender.
Definitely. And the main event?
So this was nuts. It was crazy because when the co-main event ended, I was sitting there and you could hear Rogan and the commentators being like, "We got another." Oh, DC was on commentary.
Top that kind of thing.
Daniel Cormier was on commentary too with Rogan.
Oh wow!
And it was beautiful. I love Cormier. He's wicked.
I hear to get back to the pro wrestling here, on the Pro Wrestling LookBack. I hear that WWE's really interested in bringing him in as a commentator.
Yeah.
That's what I keep. I don't know the words, the Instagram posts, and the rumor mill.
I remember it was an interview a couple months back. He talked about it a bit. I don't know if I ever did bring it up on a roundtable. It would have been a while back, but I think I might have just left it alone. But he definitely
you might have brought it up though.
He's talked about it. Like he said, he's definitely in talks with them about some stuff. So who knows? But back to the
main event of the UFC card.
So yeah, we had this is for the interim lightweight title. So the title that Khabib has, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who everyone kind of knows him from his infamous battle with McGregor and all the crazy
throwing of things into buses and shit. So
he's currently suspended, so he can't actively defend his title. But
so fucking strip him of it. Like I'm sorry. It's just like if he's suspended, then that means if you're not allowed to fight, then you shouldn't be allowed to be champion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're not allowing you to fight someone, and I'm not trying to get too heated here. Yeah. I just mean, I know you're a big fan of this stuff. I don't see,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that he's not gone for that long too.
Yeah.
If you suspended like 2 years, like if it was like
how long is it?
Well, he'll be back in, I think they're trying to set him up for September.
Well, how long was the suspension, you think? 6 months plus?
Maybe. But they were counting the time that had already passed, too. So, like, it's not...
Either way, yeah. Sorry, I don't want to get hung up on that anyway. So what was...
So we had Max Holloway. He's the 145 champion coming up.
Okay.
And trying to capture, 2 belts. And he was fighting Dustin Poirier. And what's interesting about these two guys is they both previously fought each other 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And Poirier picked up the win there. But that was like, they were both totally different guys back then.
Of course, yeah. 7 years ago. That's a while ago.
Both of them have also had losses to Conor McGregor, which is interesting. And they've both become extremely leaps and bounds better since back then, too.
Huh.
So it's a nice, interesting
a cool story. Yeah. Maybe this is why you're so bought in this weekend. There's a lot of storytelling on this UFC card.
These fights lived the fuck up to the hype. It was insane.
Yeah, so was this one another war, or how did this one go?
Yeah.
Another 5-round war?
Another 5-round war, yeah.
And who came out on top?
So Dustin Poirier came out on top, and he kind of cut a little promo on Khabib at the end, and he quoted Daniel Cormier, something that, it was funny, because he's like, to quote DC, and DC and Khabib were teammates. DC's there on commentary, And back in the day when some shit happened with John Jones in DC, Cormier goes, "John Jones, get your shit together, boy. I'm waiting for you." Like when he won the title.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, to quote DC,
Get your shit
Khabib, get your shit together. I'm waiting for you.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, so give one of these maybe to the
definitely.
UFC card this weekend?
Definitely, yeah. And I even said to Jag, shout out to Jag, I said to him just talking on the phone that, like, if a card has, 5 fights, I think I said this to you actually too. If it has 5 fights and the 2 main fights are like 2 of the greatest of all time, and then maybe like one of the other ones was okay and the other 2 were like, yeah. Because that's what this was. Like the other 3 fights on the undercard were they were okay.
It's hard though. That's okay. That brings up I feel like that kind of stuff can bring up a whole UFC card a lot more than maybe a single good match can bring up a wrestling card. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, cool. I enjoy this, finding out more about UFC on the roundtable.
Yeah. Maybe we'll give a little more if people like it.
No, and I like it, man. I think it's cool that we bring in, because we've got the LookBack show. We have the championship LookBack. We're still going to cover Raw and SmackDown as much as we can on the show and give our opinions of some things that happen. And when AEW gets a fucking TV show, I'm sure we'll be talking about that too. But Impact. I think it's cool that don't worry, I'm going to get you a sound effect too. It's time. And it's cool that you've got this UFC segment we're bringing in.
Yeah.
We've got the F1 update. I want to do something with Younger, whether it's a baseball thing or a hockey thing or some kind of sports thing for him to bring in as well for us to talk about before we dive into the wrestling. But yeah, I don't know. With all the UFC stuff out of the way, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to get into from that pay-per-view?
No, not from that pay-per-view. I just wanted to share something with you that was I think you'd get a chuckle out of.
Totally, yeah.
I watched earlier this week. I had watched a Dave Bautista movie.
Oh, another one to add.
Well, it's not just him, but
what you should do, I think, is I know you're not a big Blu-ray, an old school guy like myself. I feel like an old man buying Blu-rays now, but I love it. I don't care. You should start a collection like my Denzel Washington collection I've got. You should just try and get all the Dave Bautista movies.
It's not a bad idea at all.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Plus, you wouldn't have to buy 60 of them like I do for fucking Denzel.
But if you think, but he's got a lot.
For sure. I just mean Denzel's got quite the catalog.
He's had some years under his
got the catalog. I don't think I've picked up the last 3 or 4 that he's made.
Yeah.
But either way.
So I checked out that Hotel Artemis movie. It was interesting.
And what was it about?
Oh.
Never heard of it. Sorry.
It is. It's a trippy, futuristic kind of world where there's this lady, and she's kind of like a doctor, and she kind of fixes people up, but everyone's chipped, and you can't really get in without a chip. And long story short, Bautista plays this
bodyguard
kind of role.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's like a nurse too, so it's kind of funny.
Trippy.
Because I don't know. I heard him say in an interview about this role being very, tough. It was one of his favorite roles because it was tougher to play.
Yeah.
But like when I first seen him, I'm like, oh, is he just a big muscly dude? Like, how's that a hard role for Dave? But then when it got into more of the character and other sides of him, I was like, okay, I get it.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know. And one more small thing about Dave as well that me and you talked about. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, probably not. But I say it, I feel like every week now. But go check out Lillian Garcia's podcast because she had Dave on this week. She had the Iconics on as well.
Oh yeah.
And they were both great interviews. But the one with Dave was really cool. Him talking about not taking stereotype parts and having Steve Austin be the one to pull him aside and say, hey, don't get typecast.
Yeah.
Say no to these types of roles or you're going to get typecast. And I don't know. I thought little cool stories like that were always nice. And I honestly, it may sound weird, but I always enjoy her show more when she's got the women on.
Oh yeah.
I feel like she can
pull things
out of them that they always end up crying, and not that that's a good or bad thing. I just mean it's real. You get realness on that show, and I don't know, worth the listen. Definitely worth the listen. That sound is never going to get old, by the way, because I'll definitely get you a sound effect for the UFC segment. But the F1 update, we're back. China last weekend. It was a late one. My buddy Chris Moo Moore, who was on the show with us before.
Yeah,
shout out to Chris. He was here all weekend. He came over on Friday. My buddy from work came over on Friday as well to check out the racing sim and do some laps downstairs. But Chris came over on Friday, and he was here from Friday night until Sunday, probably around 8 p.m.
That's joke.
And we watched F1 all weekend.
Nice.
It was on 3 a.m. on Saturday, 3 a.m. on Sunday, so it was late races, obviously, like I said, in China. Us being in Canada, totally opposite end of the world as far as time goes. Mm-hmm. Not the most exciting, I would say, actual race of the season.
Yeah.
Me and you watched a bit of the highlights. I know you're not huge into it, kind of like I am with UFC, maybe a little bit less. I don't know. But yeah, it was a dominant showing by Mercedes once again. It's crazy, man. This is the first time since 1992 that a team has finished 1-2 with both teammates. Each team has 2 drivers. Finished 1-2 in the standings for the first 3 races of the season since 1992. So
nice.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. I mean, more for people that aren't super familiar with Formula One, Mercedes has been very dominant for the last 4 to 5 years. And in the last, I would say 2.5, 3 years, the other teams have been slowly kind of catching up, especially Ferrari and somewhat Red Bull.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think that they didn't break this record back in 2014 when they were significantly better than everybody else.
Yeah.
They're doing it now when the other teams are catching up to them. But I say it to my dad all the time on the phone because my dad's a big Ferrari guy and I'm a big Mercedes guy. And it comes down to mistakes. You can have the fastest car all you want, but if you don't make mistakes and you have reliability and your engine finishes the whole race majority of the time and you don't fuck up and you make insanely amazing executed pit stops like the one I showed you with the double stack that Mercedes pulled off this weekend, you're gonna be winning races when you're making stuff like that. But yeah, so congrats to Mercedes. Obviously, I'm a big fan of them, but either way, no matter any team to do this, it's a big stat for someone to do. First time since 1992, and the Williams team did it back then. The finishing results were Lewis, like I said, with his teammate Bottas in second, and Sebastian Vettel in third. Kind of the top guys that are in racing. I'm excited for the next one. The next race is in Baku, Azerbaijan, a week from now, trippy. I guess. Yeah, what's that? Trippy.
Just weird.
Oh, where it is, Baku, Azerbaijan, yeah. It's not the most, popular destination, I would say, in the world. Yeah. But if you get a chance, man, next weekend when we're watching it, me and Chris, you'll have to pop in or check some highlights because it's a really cool race. It's on the city streets, and it's about...
Oh, nice.
It's one of the longest, I would say, circuits on the calendar with definitely the longest straightaway. So that part's really cool because it's kind of a mixture of lots of turns, tight city streets, and walls, as well as super fast long straightaway at the end. So it's cool. The 2 different sectors of the track are nice, and it's been super exciting the last 2 seasons with a lot of incidents and stuff like that. So pretty excited about that. The only other thing I wanted to get into about this week's race was shout out Alexander Albon. This guy was in a major crash in qualifying. I think it was practice or qualifying, and the team wasn't able to get his car ready in time to go out for qualifying. So I guess it was practice. And so he had to start in the pit lane. So rather than being able to start on the grid with everybody else, they put him into the pit lane, and he started from the pits as soon as the lights go out. Then once everybody gets around turn 1, I believe he's allowed to leave.
True.
And so he managed to fight his way back up to 10th place from 20th. So he was voted driver of the day by the fans, and yeah, shout out to him for... It's also his first season in Formula One. This is only the third race he's ever driven a Formula One car. So good on him, and I'm doing this just for my boy Chris. Kitty Cat, Daniel Kvyat. This is the nickname we have for him. He's been dubbed the Torpedo in the past because he's ran into people in the back and stuff. And this week, I got to be honest, it wasn't as much his fault. He kind of got squeezed by the 2 McLarens, but he managed to touch them both and then bumped into Lando Norris on his left side and kind of didn't make him flip, but popped him up and then came back down and essentially ruined both of the McLaren's races. This time kind of wasn't his fault, but it is ironic and, suspicious that it would be him again, but he was pretty adamant after the race that because he got a penalty, he got a drive-through penalty, I believe it was, or a 10-second, I can't remember. The penalty was wrong. He wasn't in the wrong. It was the first lap. He got squeezed, and this is something that happens in every race. So, he was definitely adamant that he shouldn't have been penalized for what had happened. But like I said, me and Chris just joke around about the kitty cat thing. It's more just funny to talk about. But like I said, good commanding race by Lewis, comes through with the win. Congrats on Mercedes, and we'll get you back next week with another F1 update and talk about Azerbaijan. With all that stuff said there, Don, unless there's anything you want to get into, I think we can bring our boy Younger on and dive into the Superstar Shake It Up.
Oh, yeah. Exciting it was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Some of it was. Others, not so much. But
lots of thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, coming soon. We'll bring on Younger.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We got Young Dog. Took a little break. Can you hear me, Younger?
Oh, I can hear you loud and fine. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good, man. It's going good. We did a little bit of a change it up, shake it up, shake it up.
We shook it up.
We shook it up at the beginning of the episode. You got to let me know what you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen.
No, for sure. But we brought you on for the real shake it up.
Oh, God.
This past week in the WWE. I don't know where you guys want to start, but I don't have my sound effects machine going because we got Younger on, which is cool. But I feel like we have to start with the big dog on SmackDown.
Your boy.
Yeah, my boy, apparently.
The chosen one.
What do you guys think? I was happy because I love Raw. I'm a big Raw guy, so when I seen him show up on SmackDown, I was happy. But I was also expecting it. When you see WWE make a post, the biggest SmackDown signing in history, there's nobody, unless it's somebody outside of the company like a fucking, I don't even know, because even if it was Kenny Omega, they're not going to say that. They're not going to say it's the biggest signing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you guys think?
Don, you can start if you want.
I'm okay with it. I like it. I think it's a fresh look for him, It'll bring some more eyes to SmackDown too, which is good. And I like the rotate of him, and I'm cool with him on SmackDown. It's different. He's never been really over there.
No, he hasn't. Just when they pre-brand split, I think he was over there when SmackDown was like really the B show, and nothing happened on that show. But yeah, I don't know. Young?
To be honest, the only thing I'm kind of like wondering about is that they showed the superstars on both Raw and SmackDown that were switching over, and then they did make a post on Twitter after saying the rest of the roster that was going over to each brand. I just want to know. I didn't see it, but since Finn now is on SmackDown, I was so curious. He's got the IC belt. What's going on with Samoa Joe? Like, is he going to go to Raw then with the US title?
That's what I'm hearing, is that he might go to Raw, but at that point, why? Like, what is the Superstar Shakeup 2 weeks long then? Like, it's just weird. They're very, I don't know. In my opinion, that if that's what they do and next week Joe's on Raw, then it's not really a shakeup. It's kind of just a,
switch up.
Yeah, it's just we're going to do whatever the fuck we want for the next couple weeks. And when, like, even with Lars showing up on Raw, and then the commentators are like, is he on Raw? We don't know. We'll find out tomorrow night. And even they did the same thing with Aleister Black and Ricochet. Ricochet's music hit, and when all we hear out of Michael Cole is, does this mean he's on Raw now? And I'm like, well, you tell us. What do you mean?
Motherfucker, he's been on Raw for the past so many weeks.
He's been on Raw and SmackDown. But I just mean, like, when he comes out on Raw, why don't we just say, okay, he's on Raw now? Why does Corey Graves have to be like, oh, well, he could show up on SmackDown tomorrow night? It's like, well, then why is he here now?
Yeah. They got to clarify that shit.
It was very strange, man. There was a lot of just awkward switches, but I don't know. I like the Roman thing. Back to Roman. I like him going over because it's a top guy going over to SmackDown. They need another top guy on the show with who they've lost.
Of course.
And who might be injured. We'll get into that. But I guess to bounce off of it, Donovan made the great comparison months ago, and they finally kind of executed on it. AJ Styles going over to Raw. This is kind of the Bautista John Cena switch of 2006 or 5, happening in 2019 with the top star of each brand being switched over. They're not champions at the time, but you know what I'm getting.
No, but they're definitely the top star for sure.
Of
100%.
For sure, of each of the brands, right? Back to Roman. I know it's me talking a lot about Roman, but this has got to be because of the SmackDown deal, no? SmackDown's going to be the A show come October.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they're going to get that highlight, and now they're saying that they might even add an extra hour to it.
Oh my God!
Fuck off. Don't do that.
I feel like don't put it out into the airwaves, because then I feel like the more we put it out in the universe, the more likely it might happen, and we don't need that. I like my 3 hour Raw. I guess, but I don't need more. Like they could go back down to 2 hours, but I just mean I'm also not the guy that complains every week about it being 3 hours. But we don't need more. We definitely don't need more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we already get fucking 13 hours of fucking WrestleMania as it is. Seriously.
Well, and we get what, 5 between Raw and SmackDown, another hour of NXT, another hour of 205 Live. That's what, 6, 7 hours we're at now. If you're watching NXT UK, that's 8 hours. Plus,
that's rough. Fuck, I forgot about UK.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Plus, when AEW becomes a TV show, that's another hour and or 2 on television of wrestling. Who's going to be watching both? Who's switching? I don't know. Well, I don't know. There's a lot to get into in the coming weeks as far as where this shakeup lies, but I don't know. What do you think? Who do you guys think maybe first opponents for these two guys, and then we'll get into some of the smaller.
What do you think, Young?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about right now. They could build up a lot of things just before Money in the Bank, right? Because Money in the Bank is a good solid month away now.
Is it 4 weeks? I was just about to ask you that. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 4 or.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks.
That makes me happy.
They do that, right? Because they do the shake-up, right? So they probably want to see a lot of shit to evolve into storylines to evolve into that pay-per-view and so forth.
No, totally. Give them 4 weeks to build storylines.
Yeah.
Leading. I love it. You know how great it would be if we had 6-week gaps between every pay-per-view? That would be... It would just make every pay-per-view feel better. I'm sorry. It just would.
Yeah.
I don't think AEW, off the bat, and this is off topic from what we're talking about, but I don't think they're going to dive right into the let's do 1 pay-per-view a month.
You know what's funny you say that, though? They have a few things lined up already. I've heard, from May, I think June, July. I think they have events set up,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
then maybe they will.
Thing coming up in July. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's in Jacksonville.
That's what it was.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like they're smart enough that they know that they don't want to burn out the fans that they do have. You know what I mean? But yeah, sorry.
That's right, yeah.
Opponents for the top dogs being switched. I'm going to say Randy Orton for Roman Reigns. I think...
Randall Keith Orton.
That was me doing a big wet fart.
Thanks for providing the sound effects machine that we don't have. That worked.
Yeah, thanks a lot, eh?
That will get over
I
like
wasn't
a
rude
wet
or anything, so.
No, but that'll get over
I'm on
like
the
a
phone.
wet
I can
fart.
hear that for days.
You know what I mean? Come on. Is anybody feeling this?
Young? How do you feel?
I don't. Yeah, it's a good start. I think it's a good build up for, especially to the top guys on that brand. So I think that'd be really good. It's good for Roman too because he'll get a top opponent right away type of thing, and that storyline will build for a little while. I think.
Yeah.
So, that's a really good point.
Don's not feeling it, but I think it's just the most logical, especially with him calling it his yard, and Randy's been there so long, and I know we talked about it, Don, the fact that Randy lost at Mania, he can't really claim it to be his yard, but I guess in a way the guy that beat him is now gone, so it's like fuck you beat me but you left, so it's not your house, AJ. It's Randy's barn.
It's barn.
Well, I didn't want to say house or yard, so I was trying to think of something else.
Might as well say arena or something because fuck, that's where they're in. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's a good build-up for Raw in my eyes. And by the way, going back to originally with the Samoa Joe thing, the only reason why I'm saying that is just because you have now the IC belts and the WWE Championship, and now on Raw you just have the Universal Championship, and then whatever the fuck's going on with the women, and then their tag team plus the tag team championships. I forgot on both brands, but that's the only reason why that I said that, because when I look through the roster, the ones that weren't called on the show and what they did off air, I didn't see Samoa Joe's name. So I was like, so what the fuck is going on with the U.S. title? Are they just going to make SmackDown
maybe they want to keep us guessing right now, I guess.
Maybe. That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, Don was going to... Sorry.
Maybe they bring the UK title to Raw.
Wow.
That's what I said. I'm not let's not get our hopes up, but...
I like the idea. Does that champion still regularly show up on NXT UK?
Not regularly, but still every now and then.
He still represents that brand?
Yeah, that's what
But he's also on... It's like if you win this belt, not only are you the quote-unquote top dog on NXT UK, of the UK, but you're also get the ability, the opportunity, to use the WWE word, on Raw as well.
Yeah.
That could work. That could totally work.
I'm down.
That could totally work.
I always think about like the one that they did bring in recently, and I really like the name and everything. But I always, every time I look at the thing, it's like it should be on Raw or SmackDown. It's the North American title.
Sorry to cut you off. I just knew that's what you were gonna say.
It's funny how you said that, because isn't it not true though? Like,
it is. It's an absolutely gorgeous belt. It already has some lineage, and it's been around a year. Think about the successful, good wrestlers that have held that belt already.
Your boy.
That's right. Yep. Adam Cole, Ricochet. Fucking the bunch got Aleister Black, right? No, Aleister Black. No, sorry. He had the WWE champion. I mean, the NXT championship. But yeah, still, I know what you're saying. There's a lot of good stars. I think that belt, more than anything, should be on the brand.
I agree. I think
it should be on each one.
Triple H ain't letting that happen. He's like, you can take my superstars, but you're not taking my fucking championships.
Yeah, I agree with that. Or bring the Cruiserweight up. Just cancel the show and put it right back on Raw.
I'm fine with that. Did you see my tweet this week there, Young?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, that was really nice of you to talk about Adam Cole like that. So I'm really proud of you. And
I hope he saw.
To be honest, when I sent you that thing on Instagram, our little group chat there, I actually thought that was true.
So did I about Adam Cole going to the Cruiserweight show. But yes,
hey, you never know at this point.
You really don't. And like I said in the tweet, bro, what's the point in having a show called 205 Live if the best person in your fucking company under 205 pounds is nowhere near that show? To me, it's a no-brainer. You have,
if anything, change the fucking title of the show.
Or like you said, blow it up and get rid of it and add these guys onto the roster, especially if fucking SmackDown's going to be 2 fucking hours.
Well, it's not just that.
You got
What's
room.
Up with all these guys getting signed now to Raw? Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like that one tweet there from Wells Mania. I think it was Wells Mania. It's official. Buddy Murphy is now 206 and he's on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And I was dying. I was laughing.
I saw that too. Shout out to him for that. But
fucking beautiful tweet.
Get us back. We'll get us back on track here.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to just dive into this AJ potential opponent for him on Raw. Do we think he's gonna have a heel turn and go after Seth Rollins, or no? Is that completely out of the?
I like that idea.
The question.
I really like that idea.
I could see it down the line a little bit.
So could I.
Maybe even more like SummerSlam-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
A couple months away, boys.
Oh, fuck. I had a genie. Oh, God damn it.
It's okay.
Oh, listen. Yes, here it is. I got it. It came back to me. Guys, SummerSlam. Here it is. I'm telling you, it's coming. Brand versus brand.
Yeah, it is. It's coming all the way to Toronto.
Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Versus Lars Sullivan in the main event.
Oh, come on, Don.
Vinnie Mac.
Why is this asshole here?
Well,
what happened?
I don't have anything against Lars Sullivan at all.
You know Vince wants that. Vince wants that.
I'm calling him an asshole because he's a really good heel.
Well, that's
the shit out of men that are over 40 years of age.
He's getting heat. Maybe that's a good. This comes back to get us on track. Maybe that's a good opponent for AJ Styles, or is he on SmackDown?
Oh, him and Roman. No,
we don't know what's going on with
Lars
him.
is on SmackDown.
Mr. Clean? Yeah, Mr. Clean. We don't know what's going on with him.
No, he's on SmackDown.
That's what I'm saying.
Him
and Roman. I said brand versus brand, but watch. I'm calling this.
Well, I did hear that Vince really wanted to build this guy up. That was the whole point of bringing him up in the first place.
I don't have
so the high anxiety attack or whatever he had right before that Raw show, and we didn't see him for a long time.
For sure.
Shout out to him. I hope he's okay.
Same here. I think he was probably scheduled to have a match with Cena or something like that at Mania. I don't know, but
that's right. Yeah, I did hear about that too.
I think he's a real heel. He gets fucking heat. He's attacking all the older wrestlers in the company and trying to get as much heat as possible. And 3, I don't care. If he is built to fight Roman and...
As the main event, you're okay with that?
Well, Roman in the main event, I've just accepted now. It's like when I go outside and look up at the fucking sky, it's blue. It's just what happens. What's the point in getting mad anymore about stuff like that? I can't be bothered. But I'll save that for Adam Cole not being on 205 Live. But anyway, just if he's built up to be a badass fucking heel and this guy runs through everybody all the way to SummerSlam, sure.
He can't talk, though. Don't let him talk. Don't let him...
Fine.
Keep him quiet. No, keep him not talking.
No, he can't speak very well.
That's what I mean.
And I want to get his entrance that he had in NXT with the light from behind and the silhouette. It was fucking awesome. He had an amazing entrance. But yeah, well, I guess those are some possible opponents for... I know you said something about Roman and Elias as well. That could be something.
I'm down for that. I want to see that. more than.
Well, especially with what we got on SmackDown, Vince, introducing Elias and Roman being the one to come out and Superman punch Vince and then beat up Elias.
It's a good mini feud.
Totally.
Yeah.
That might be something we get leading into Money in the Bank. Just a nice, clean, win for Roman. But again, what does that do for Elias? Just like Drew losing at Mania, floundering, you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
Elias is
I was one of those guys too. I agree with you, Nick, because I actually thought McIntyre was going to win that.
Yeah.
Elias is just kind of this attraction, it seems. That's what I mean. I'd even it's like they don't really the guy doesn't really wrestle much, We don't get to see enough of it. It's not that he's not good.
No,
we just don't get to see it.
No, you're right. He doesn't. He's more of a character, and he could be, as we talked about last week, of what he could be. But I guess, do you guys want me to kind of go through some of the people that switched over each show, or should we go into the news that everybody seems to be talking about this week? And this is the roundtable experience, right?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Do not say the fucking name. Oh, God.
How do we feel about this name that they've decided to give them? Because I was watching Raw, and I seen them come out, and I was about 4 seconds away from texting our buddy Mike D there and saying, hey, they ruined your boys, and it took them all of 4 seconds. Because I seen them come out with that fucking Viking name experience.
So what's up with them? So are they called the Viking Experience on Raw, and they're going to be called fucking War Raiders on NXT?
I think they're going to drop those titles in NXT probably, similar to like an Asuka or a Paige or a Kevin Owens. Did Kevin Owens lose his belt? I can't remember.
Well, he came up first, and then.
But did he lose it? He didn't relinquish it?
Yeah, he lost it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm thinking that they're going to do that, but yeah, man, I don't know what they're fucking thinking. Like, they already have merch that says War Raiders. The name War Raiders is fine, unless it's got something to do with a PG, and they don't want the name War, and they don't want people chanting War, War, War.
Oh, that's definitely it. 1,000%.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced of that.
Oh, yeah, well, the show is PG-13, so yeah.
PG, not even sure. PG-13, young PG.
Oh, for fuck. Wow, well, there you go.
It's just, yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's definitely wasn't a good idea by WWE, that's for sure.
Yeah, fuck that. You might as well put Disney in front of their name. Make it fucking rated G. But like fucking Disney's The Viking Experience.
Well, that's...
No, it's like unbelievable.
Dude, that's what I keep hearing. It sounds like a ride. Like, it doesn't sound like a team. It sounds like a place that you go. Come see the Viking Experience at the local community center.
Medieval times.
Yeah, like... It just doesn't even make sense.
They should have called them Medieval times.
Even if it was just the Vikings.
That's what I mean. I'm okay with that.
And then they have to throw in little things like not even just that. I was going to say Corey Graves is on the mic going, they don't just say the name. They're real Vikings. They make their own clothes and harvest their own tools. Like, what?
Yeah, why the experience? The experience just needs to go. They need to cut that part off.
Yeah. I don't know, and I can't. It's pissing me off that I can't remember. But Corey Graves said something too that was similar along the lines of, you might know them as, or you might remember them as the War Raiders, but it wasn't. It was way worse than that. Like, what I just said is a better description of what they are. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Goddamn.
How about some of the here? Let me get some of the switches over to Raw, since we talked about the major ones and we talked about the big name change that everybody seems to be up in arms about. We got Andrade coming over, Rey Mysterio, the Usos, Naomi, Cedric Alexander. Excuse me. Yeah, a little voice crack, young?
That was funny.
And I think that's pretty much it as far as, the names that were on the show. Not including people that were, WWE.com exclusive. Chad Gable's going over to SmackDown. Like, sorry, Chad, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Any of those names stick out to you guys want to talk about? I don't know. I just figured
you know what? I like the Usos over on Raw. That's a good switch.
I feel like they had to do that.
Yeah. Because of...
Well, no, because Raw needed some fucking tag teams that are legit.
Yeah.
they needed, whether it was New Day or the Usos or if the bar stuck together, I don't know. They needed something.
The Usos have never, like not since the whole split.
They've
been all on the blue brand.
Yeah, I missed that kind of a little bit. No, I don't.
Get ready.
I'm just kidding.
Get ready.
It's not coming back.
It'll come back.
5 years maybe. The retirement match. They'll come out in the face paint and shit.
3.
Good God.
Well, it's not bad.
Fighting the Shield.
Don't act like you hated that. Young.
No, they were very bland when I got
whatever.
into wrestling, but that gimmick I think had already kind of run its course in 2015 when I started getting back in.
Definitely.
So I don't know any of those other names. Naomi coming over with the couples shake-up. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Cedric, you mentioned it, Younger. He came over to Raw, and then he was on 205 Live this week.
It's his last day.
Did they was that a thing? Because I didn't watch the whole episode. I just kind of was flipping around, and I see him wrestling, and I'm going, well, didn't they say he's on Raw, and now he's showing up on 205? So I didn't know what to think of it.
Well, first of all, I don't know if that's true or not. I was just kind of joking, but I wouldn't imagine. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like they already named him. He's coming over. You know what I mean? So unless 05 was not live, you know what I mean, or it might have been taped.
No, that's true.
I mean?
And it could be what you said, though. And I just didn't watch the whole show, so they easily could have said, like, this is Cedric's farewell match on 205 Live, and that was his final match. I don't know. I just thought it was weird that they would call him up to Raw and then have to tell him backstage, hey, we need you to go to SmackDown because you're going to be on 205 Live after the show. Like, he's probably sitting there like, wait, what? I thought you, okay, all right, sure. So, I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, it would be a great match. Thanks to YouTube for showing me this. I think it would be a sick match. Would be Cedric Alexander versus Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan, when he fought Paul London here back in 2003. I just watched that match earlier today, and I almost fucking shit my pants. So I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of that action going down.
Yeah,
with today's day and age.
Young Dog borrowed the Don's DVD there, the Daniel Bryan DVD, Bryan Danielson ROH DVD.
Yeah,
good.
The American Dragon, amazing, absolutely amazing so far.
Yeah, no, it's a good pickup. We didn't mention it. I feel bad. He probably would be mad at me if he's listening to the show, which he's not, but, The Miz was the big first acquisition on Raw. That was the big one. That's how we started the show. We had Stephanie and Shane come out, talk some shit, and it was very Shane just trying to get heat the whole time, putting up pictures of him squeezing the potato face and all that stuff. And then Miz, it was kind of obvious that Miz was going to come out of the crowd and fucking attack him. But so Miz back to Raw. I feel like he flip-flops a lot.
He does. I was just going to say that. It feels underwhelming for that reason.
It's similar to what you're bringing up, Younger. That's like if Joe goes back to Raw, it's like, weren't you just on Raw?
Yeah,
I feel like he just left last year.
That's what The Miz. The Miz has literally went every time he's went over.
Switches back and forth, yeah. I don't know, kind of underwhelming, but I'm curious to see what happens with this storyline going forward. Obviously, Miz is going
remember a few weeks ago how he attacked, he said, I'll face anybody in this ring and I'll beat anybody, and then Braun Strowman came out?
Yeah.
Maybe fucking Strowman faces him and then Strowman takes the title back to Raw.
What? Strowman
faces who, Miz?
No, faces Samoa Joe.
Oh, sorry. We were talking. Okay, yeah. That's possible.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant. Sorry, I should have said his name first. But yeah.
No, but yeah, that actually does make sense because they had a little bit of a thing happening there.
The Miz thing, I don't really want to talk about because you know me. Still not off yet. And so no days off for that motherfucker, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's kind of crazy how this feud's is still going on, eh? Like we might even see this at SummerSlam downtown here in Toronto. We might. Like
that would be.
I'm not joking. Like I swear to God, I like the feud. I actually really like it. I like how Shane's acting like this piece of shit. Fucking doesn't matter what the fuck he's saying. Say the greatest in the world. Fucking 16 times to Mike Rome, whoever it was on Raw this week. Like it was great. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think this feud should still keep going. And then after SummerSlam, that's it for Miz. So I'm calling it now. So we'll see what happens, but it's a nice little feud, and it's cool how Miz is back on Raw again. So it's nice.
Totally, man. No, I agree with you.
Yo, I could totally see if they do fight at SummerSlam, man. It's totally off the wall and shit, but I want a fucking cage match. Like I think at that point it would build to it, and just to be there and see that type of shit live.
But this time, Shane actually jumping off the fucking steel cage and actually landing on Miz on the table. That's what I want to see.
You're trying to see that,
Miz will probably die. but like it doesn't matter.
But then you know what I mean? I hope that's what it builds to. I hope they just keep it going maybe. And
I think it'd be cool because it would be even more memorable. It'll be one of those things that you look back at like we do at the Look Back. We look back in 5 years and remember that feud that went on for 6 months and the Miz with his dad and being such an asshole. And remember we never thought Miz could be a good guy. And I don't know, it would, I'm excited too because that didn't even cross my mind until you guys just brought that up, that this could potentially go all the way to SummerSlam. I was thinking no longer than Money in the Bank, but because I was thinking Miz will get his win back at the next pay-per-view in a whatever match, and then that's it. But maybe not. Maybe we'll still get the Mean Street Posse showing up.
I think we get some kind of a brawl at the next pay-per-view, maybe. Not even like an official match, some kind of unsanctioned fight.
Like an unsanctioned, like they got to sign their release form type shit? WWE?
No, it's just like the Miz shows up, Shane, where are you? Or something, and they just go at it kind of thing.
And they keep leading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
That's a good way to stretch it.
It's a good storyline, too.
That's free for you guys over there at the big WWE. So
yeah, I think they're listening.
Get at your boy.
They're listening. They're listening. I guess that's it from Raw. The only little rant thing I wanted to bring up, because we talked about Lars and we talked about, most of the stuff. I'm happy that the fucking Riott Squad is now done. Because
they're not done yet.
Well, Liv Morgan got pushed over to SmackDown, right? And if I'm making bets, dude, they're putting what's her name, Aloy from fucking Horizon Zero Dawn PlayStation game. Fucking Sarah Logan. She's going with the Viking experience. She's a part of the Viking. She already is the Viking. They already call her a Viking.
Yeah, they have.
And she's very true. Yeah, she's going to be involved in that experience. For sure.
And is she not married to one of those guys?
Yep.
Yeah, the bald guy.
So there you go, Eric and Azar, or whatever the fuck they changed their name.
I think it's Eric is the one.
But so, what were their names on NXT? Didn't they have different names?
I don't think so.
Oh,
if
no.
they did, that'd be hilarious.
No, they did. I know for sure.
Jesus.
I just can't remember what their names were on NXT because I don't watch NXT week to week.
Really?
But they're Eric and Akar or something.
Eric doesn't sound very threatening.
No, it's just
Eric.
Yeah,
just Eric?
I don't know.
Eric the Viking. That's fucking lame, dude. That's fucking lame.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. Come on, man.
It is.
You can't be something like, give me a brute.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. Brutus.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric. But yeah, anyway, so Riott Squad. And I notice it most of the time, but this week, man, maybe it was because they knew it was the last time, but they might have the worst fucking entrance in the history of wrestling. I'm sorry. Maybe other than the Oz, Kevin Nash in WCW, I can't think of a shittier fucking entrance and more choreographed bullshit in my life because I don't even know what it looks like.
You don't like that slap to the ring, eh? You don't like that,
no, it's not even just that, man. That's part of it, but it's all of it. It's the bouncing on the ropes. It reminds me of when you watch a TV show from the 90s and they have one of those intro song musics and you watch it on Netflix and you've seen it 17 fucking million times like Friends or something like similar to that. And it's just the same thing over and I don't know, man. It bugs me.
In a WWE video game where you get the tag team entrance.
Exactly like that,
you
bro.
don't have many options to pick from.
And not to rag on one of your girls, but Charlotte's bad for this too. Because she does, I'm talking like the exact same fucking thing every time. But the Riott Squad, when I seen it,
hers is good.
No. Hers is good, and I'll give you that. I'm just saying, for me to write that down, that their entrance is so fucking bad, I had to bring it up on the show, and I don't know. I guess we can get into SmackDown. For anyone listening, there is more people that were switched around. I mean, Eric Young, I think, is somebody that came over to Raw as well. And
yeah, just him alone. Rest in peace to Sanity.
I was just about to say Sanity's been broken up. I heard Younger, I don't know if you can confirm this or if you heard anything either. The guy Alexander Wolf asked for his release or he's leaving.
Which one's
Yeah, he's supposed to. Yeah, I think he wants out of there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Anyway, I think he was probably better off in Sanity. So the fact that Sanity is no longer, unless they were going to stick him with Killian Dane, probably better off, not with the company anymore either. So, but yeah, so there was more people, like I said, Chad Gable, and more smaller people that switched around, like Liv Morgan. But we'll get to the main shit, and I don't know. You know how it is.
They probably got rid of fucking Sanity because of the fucking their entrance music that just gave you just a bunch of seizures before even the match started. So
I liked the music. It took some time.
Oh, the music. It was the video, the 16 different camera angles when they were going to the ring,
zooming in and out.
Like that. Oh, dude, it made me sick every time, and I love that. I love those guys.
Yeah,
but I had to change the channel sometimes. It's like, yep, not today. I'm not puking today.
Yeah. So speaking about creepy stuff that makes you want to change the channel, what the fuck is that dinosaur popping out of the box with the smoke?
It's Bray Wyatt.
What dinosaur?
Oh shit, Don hasn't seen this, young.
No, I seen the.
It's Bray Wyatt.
There's a little doll, isn't there?
Yeah, looking fucking doll thing is Bray Wyatt too.
I hope it's
playing
not.
trick games, and that's Abigail. That's Sister Abigail in that chair.
Yeah, the doll stuff this week was even weirder with the pointing, all the action, all the other little dolls.
Wait, there was another.
That was fucked, eh? If you're a child under 10, they had nightmares for 2 weeks.
Oh, totally.
Like, they're fucked.
That would have creeped.
It was that bad. Like.
Yeah, I would have. That creeped me the fuck out. But no, Donovan, the one I'm talking about is the cardboard box with the puppet that looked like This has been like 3 weeks now, ever since the first week after Mania, or whatever, 2 weeks. It's like a little doll that literally looks like this with my hand, like a puppet, and he just kind of coughs.
Oh yeah, that guy.
It looks like a snake or a dinosaur, or I don't know what it is, but it's very awkward.
So that's tied into the doll, right? That's tied into the doll.
Oh yeah, well I would imagine so. I would imagine that they're part of the same, and I'm assuming, like Younger said, everybody's kind of assuming this is whatever Bray Wyatt's got cooked up next. But I would have preferred them to go different with him. I still want to see like trippy.
Hello.
No, I want to see like put him in like a white suit, white tie, white vest. Have him pull off
Brother Love.
Yeah, no, yeah. I want to see some like minister Bray Wyatt, some like weird Southern. Come to see the preacher. And just like, I don't know, I think that'd be wild. Just some crazy Southern backwoods, but not this creepy stuff. More like creepy, but clean cut creepy. Not like,
I wonder what he's gonna
Hills
do.
Have Eyes creepy.
I think he probably made some tweaks to his,
I'm sure he did.
And gear.
We talked about it. What was it, last week, Younger? The week before with his haircut?
Yeah, when he shaved the sides there a little bit.
Yeah. He's kind of got the long dreads at the top with the shaved everywhere else.
Do you think he's got a crew?
That's right, yeah.
Or like is there a Sister Abigail? Do you think he'll be with a female?
Yeah, he'll probably come up with pregnant JoJo.
Jeez, Young. Is that Tanner
JoJo
on the phone over
stomach,
there?
This is Sister Abigail. What's going on?
That wouldn't work too well, would it?
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I could see him coming out with JoJo like eventually after when she has her baby.
No.
I can see it. Why not?
They
Who cares?
No,
change
man.
it up.
No. I can.
Why not?
I couldn't see it, but I like the
some
change it up.
Be some psycho type of group. I don't know, psycho type of couple.
I think those guys hit it on the head, man. DT and shit.
Don Tony, Kevin Castle for the listeners.
Nikki
I didn't
Cross,
listen this week.
Nikki Cross with him would be a good Sister Abigail, especially if now
Nikki Cross is going with her husband, Killian Dane.
But
they're married.
I knew that.
Or who? What? Wait,
yeah. No,
that's not the guy who left though.
No, that's the other guy. Like the bigger one.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going to be doing, Younger. I feel like he might be floundering for a little bit there on SmackDown, and they haven't.
Yeah, he might be the top star on main event show on Saturdays at 7 p.m. only for an hour.
Competing with Jinder Mahal. That's Jinder. That's Jinder's show now, man. He runs that show.
Yeah, that's
he's the main event of main event.
Eh? That's insane to think about, to be honest.
It is, especially because I've got pictures on my phone of him, in the SmackDown entrance holding the WWE Championship around his waist. So, quite the change. Yeah. Anything else about that Bray Wyatt stuff? Because we can move on from that. I was just curious from what you guys thought.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, no. I wonder how long this is going to go on. I was just thinking about that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, same here. Young, did you watch SmackDown?
I did watch SmackDown. Yes, I did.
So you were able to see the Big O there.
Oh, God. A part of the New Day? Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Good God. Do you guys find him trippy as a babyface?
I think it's just, I wouldn't use the trippy. I would say it's jarring, but not in a bad way.
Very.
I think we're just really not used to it. So it's so different to see Kevin being so happy and go lucky, and I don't know, not that this is off SmackDown, but with the Sami Zayn segment that we got on Raw and him playing the music 3 or 4 fucking times and then, teasing the crowd to celebrate with them and then cutting a promo on all the Quebecers and going heel and them chanting Kevin Owens at him. I thought that was a cool moment for the two of them, obviously. And it was very ad-lib, not to go back to Raw, but and the Sami Zayn segment, but I don't know. Anything from you guys for
KO?
Oh, it's nice to see him back.
Budio?
Just
it's
KO
nice to see, Zayn back, but
same here.
I'm thinking.
Sorry, we're
not
bouncing.
to jump too far down the line in the whole thing, but I think it's kind of cool if he maybe rolls with them for a bit, and this would be an interesting play when Big E is, back in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to see some sort of play off of that. But then again, I don't know how you keep Kevin in this clique or associate. Maybe just not in it, but associate a little bit beyond the good terms. Like I don't need to see him in New Day gear every week.
I kind of hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the whole Big O thing, which I found out on Wade's show when one of the live callers from Montreal called in. Apparently, that was like a reference to the Olympic Stadium in Montreal. They call it the Big O, and I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they do. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I didn't.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that, and then I mean, Kevin Owens. Shout out to Hurdy, our boy. I watched the beginning or all of SmackDown with him, and Kevin Owens cut a promo in French at the beginning of the show. And it was hilarious. I told Donovan, Hurdy was translating the whole promo for me. It was wicked. So he came out and he kind of just said, like, thank you. Thank you for everyone for coming to see me. And this is my WrestleMania. This is the biggest moment for me. And I've got my family front row kind of thing. Basically just telling everybody that this was his WrestleMania. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. That's nice. That's really nice, especially in the hometown too, right? So that's really nice.
For sure.
And it's basically his return. I know he kind of already came back, but like that's a big return. And to come out and tell him like you're going to go full heel on your crowd tonight, so that's even better.
Totally, man. And I said it to Donovan this week. Like I'm not going to go out on a limb and say this is what was supposed to happen because I have no fucking clout or say in that, but I would say Kevin Owens was probably supposed to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania from Daniel Bryan.
You really think so?
Oh, yeah. I think that was in the cards, man. If this Kofi stuff didn't happen, that was what we were getting. That was already... They gave Kevin Owens the Fastlane match instead because they knew if they gave Kofi the Fastlane match, that wasn't enough.
That's right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Fans wouldn't have been okay with that. And then Kevin Owens would have got booed as a babyface winning the championship, which would have been like, how is this even possible? So, I feel like this Kofi stuff very much so played the hand of how Kevin Owens' WrestleMania turned out this year. For better or for worse. Now,
on this topic still of KO and everything, I think that he might just turn again. Like, this is probably just a ploy to get closer to Kofi and get the title, what he really wants.
I see, and that's what I thought when they did the match. I actually thought he was going to attack Kofi after the match, actually, to be honest.
Like, not right away. Maybe in a few weeks. Like, because he's known. He's just like Sami Zayn said in the past. Like, you just can't trust him. Like, he did it to Jericho. He did it to Sami. He does it to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually, maybe he just goes back to traditional KO. Which, in a way, kind of... I want to see what he can do as a babyface. So, in a way, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah, I don't disagree that could happen. I'm kind of praying, hoping that it doesn't, just because I want to see what 6 months of Kevin Owens as a babyface looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of, we want to see what he can do in this role, right?
For sure. And he's going to have his time. Like, whether it's next year or the year after, he'll win a title at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm not even saying he beats maybe he's just a contender and they have a match or a little, mini feud or whatever.
Yeah.
See, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if they did that right away and they did it at Money in the Bank.
And Kevin Owens loses?
Loses, yes. Yeah, but I agree with Don. Just put him as a contender for something.
That wouldn't be about it. It'd be a good person to have Kofi fight right off the bat.
But then again, they are aware of the calendar dates, and they know that coming into SummerSlam, Kevin Owens is going to be hot as fuck coming into Toronto. So I don't know if that you want to have him in a bad guy situation in Toronto where he's going to get so much love.
And I'm sure he was looking forward to being a babyface again.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he knew going in, cutting those everyman promos.
Oh, yeah.
This was all changed for him. But Kevin, as far as what I've seen, I don't fucking know the guy. I'm sure he was totally fine with all this, and he was, if anything, pushing for Kofi to get the opportunity because he could see he's a wrestling fan. This guy grew up with Stone Cold pictures on his wall. He knows when the fans are into somebody and what you need to give them. So I'm sure he was fine with that. But anything else from the Sami Zayn segment before we continue with SmackDown? Because they were kind of very similar in I don't know.
To be honest, I think what you were going back to earlier, I could see Styles being one of his big feuds on Raw. It could be Zayn to start off.
That's a really good idea. Younger,
Yeah.
I don't have the sound effects machine, but if I did, you would hear the applause right now because I hit the button. It's just you can't hear it. So,
Michael Cole, everybody, do a Michael Cole.
Yeah, but it was good.
That's a good. I like that. That's a good idea.
I hope that happens.
Fresh match.
Yeah, that or a heel turn for AJ on Seth. I'm still praying for that. That'd be sweet.
With the boys? Where are those guys?
They lose to Heavy Machinery on dark matches now.
But are they on Raw or SmackDown?
I think they're on SmackDown. Younger, are your boys on SmackDown or do we not know?
As of right now, I think they are.
Sorry for any of the listeners. We're talking about the Good Brothers.
The hashtag too sweet. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with those two, man. I've heard lots of rumors that they were leaving, lots of rumors that they're going to stay, lots of rumors how they took a contract where it's going to be like a Randy Orton thing type thing, where they're only going to be around once in a while, like on the show. So because Carl Anderson, I think, had his 4th child, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So
congrats to him.
So yeah. So it's pretty big, but yeah, as of right now, all I know is that those two I think are still in SmackDown, and they turned heel too. So.
Where was the turn?
The turn was at, I believe, it was WrestleMania. I believe it was WrestleMania or the show. I think it was the SmackDown just before WrestleMania, and you could tell they came out to the ring. They didn't even pat anybody's hand.
Oh, you're talking about when
they put the 2 fists up.
Yeah, I remember you saying that to me on the round table. I don't know if that was like a definitive heel turn, but it was definitely like a non-acknowledgement of the crowd.
Oh, for sure.
I think the only reason I didn't remember is because I was trying to think of something where they like attacked the baby faces. But no, you're right. I remember that entrance now, and they definitely weren't.
I think they were telling the crowd to shut up at one point.
Yeah,
too.
And
so
they didn't like they kind of threw both. Yeah. They did the Roman, both hands in the air, and they didn't slap no hands going down to the ring. So yeah, good eyes on that one there, Young. We're jumping all over the place, but I like it this week. There was a 6-man tag match with Rusev, Nakamura, and Cesaro. Where's Sheamus?
Well, is that the end? Is the bar finally? Is that it? Have they finally closed down?
I guess because we had obviously we talked about the Big O, Kevin Owens joining the New Day, and he did his stuff throughout the night, eating pancakes and putting on the shirt, and he did the Montreal. He did all that stuff, which was great. And I thought it was funny. I genuinely thought I got a kick out of the whole night of everything he did. Don't get me wrong, it was a little bit dumb at points, but it's funny in my opinion. I don't know.
Of course, entertainment.
Yeah, exactly, right? So then they fought in a 6-man tag, Kofi, Xavier, and Kevin Owens versus Sheamus.
Or Cesaro.
No, not Sheamus. Cesaro, Nakamura, and Rusev. And there was a segment backstage where Nakamura and Rusev were watching the segment with Kevin Owens and Big E, and it was the segment was ending, and they were dancing or whatever, and they cut to them backstage, and Cesaro walks up to them. Oh, there's 3 of them, and there's 3 of us. I think you know what that means. Something like that is what he said, and I'm going, this is very weird.
Didn't acknowledge Sheamus at all?
Didn't even acknowledge that he wasn't with Sheamus or nothing. It was more just Cesaro.
That's right. Yeah, remember he just popped out of nowhere too when they had the camera, right?
Exactly.
Out, like the left side of the screen.
Truth be told, like they could still be together, and this was just he wasn't there, and like Cesaro was there, and they needed a guy to put. Like I would not be surprised if that's the case because I didn't hear anything of Sheamus going to Raw, right?
Nope,
as of yet.
Not that I know of either. And Sheamus,
but I know he's winding down a bit because he's had some back issues or something, right? So
that's what I was gonna say. He could be. This could be the slow progression into less matches and less working for Sheamus.
Is that Nakamura, Rusev, and Cesaro the rebrand of the fucking League of Urination?
Oh man, I guess
is that what that is? Right? And maybe Sheamus, maybe Sheamus comes back and that's it.
League of Nations 2.0.
2.0, baby.
Jesus
Man,
Christ.
I recently watched I watched a photo shoot with Rusev. You know that the show they do on the network?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they popped up a picture of that team, and oh man,
What did he say?
he was like, oh, he kind of basically is reacting the way we are right now. Like he was shaking his head like, oh, what could have been, man? Like
So much potential.
that's what he said, like world champion, intercontinental champion, like world champion. It was just like what could have been, and then
What was?
he brought up there was an episode of SmackDown that I forgot about that they lost to Roman in a 4-on-1 handicap match.
Yep.
And I totally forgot that. Like, I'm not surprised that it happened.
They pretty much feuded Roman
Well,
for a while.
that's
That was the whole thing. That was fucked.
Oh, shout out to the League of Nations.
That was the build-up for WrestleMania, 1-on-4.
It was. That was leading into 32, where he had to beat Triple H for the belt, right?
Yeah, well, if you're gonna take down the king, you gotta take down the league.
Fair enough.
Oh my God, that was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. Oh man. Jesus.
Yeah. Anything else major from Raw and SmackDown for you guys that you want to get into? We talked about Finn, right, coming over. I guess you talked about it a little bit younger. Has he been on SmackDown before?
No.
First time?
No, first time.
Michael Cole, baby.
Renee Young ruined it for me, though.
Why? What did she do?
Well, he came out on Monday in blue tights, and Renee's like, "Oh, maybe
Did she go, ooh.
That's what she's like. Oh, maybe his gear is a sign of things to come." And I was like, "Oh, I'm surprised she just said that. I feel like you're getting in shit now in your ear from somebody. Why the fuck did you just say that?" But I don't know.
Yeah, then she comes out next week in a black and gold dress and like, "Hey, you joining AEW or what are you saying there?" So
I don't think she's going anywhere, man. That's too much of
me neither.
career for her to throw away. Whether you know what I mean. I don't think she can get involved in wrestling beefs. She's got a broadcasting career to think about. Maybe outside of WWE, who knows? You know what I mean? She could be, you know.
Yeah, she's good. She's
exactly,
got the money.
right?
She's good.
Yeah, not even just the money. I just mean she's got the talent to be
For sure. Just in
hosting.
general? Oh yeah.
You know, 6:00 news, if that's the case, national news. She's talented. She could do something like that. So I think she's got to think about things like that.
I think she should think about something like that. Maybe.
Possibly. I don't know.
Commentary. That's more what I was going for. I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, no. I want to. Let's get into this a little
bit.
Let's maybe talk about this a bit because
it's just. What
is it about her that we're not liking, Don?
Well, it's that I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so Cien and Finn are having a match. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even watch this match, but I'm gonna imagine in my head that there was a Hurricane Rana at some point, and
she makes noises like she got hurt.
She's like, she's very. What was the one when Dean Ambrose got the pencil in the eye? Like she acted like he got his left hand cut off in a fucking Mike Myers film.
You know what though? That's the one time I'm gonna give her the exception there, man. That's her husband getting stabbed in the eye. Like if we're supposed to buy into this stuff,
She's too over the top.
That one I'm okay with because it's her husband, and
she just doesn't fit in. Like it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like I feel like they don't mesh well, the three of them. Between Cole, Graves, and I
do too, but it's not her.
That team.
Who is it? It's fucking Graves, man.
No, it ain't.
Stick him over on SmackDown and keep him there, please.
Well, yeah, he should be on one show.
Like,
I don't like him. I don't like him going on doing dual duty.
No, the only time I like him is when he channels his inner fucking Bobby Heenan. Any other moment,
he's good.
He is good, but he's too all over the place, and we hear him too much.
Well, yeah,
but not that I care, but they fucking work him too hard.
Yeah, they're fucked.
Like he worked the whole WrestleMania show, pretty much the entire show.
Yeah.
Maybe he stepped out here and there, and then he works SmackDown, and then he works Raw.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's just
he's too.
Even Michael Cole.
You get too much of him.
Greetings, guys, and welcome to Monday night, the night after Mania. It's like, do you have a voice left, Michael Cole? Like,
but who did have a voice?
Renee Young had a voice
because she doesn't got to say much but ooh and ah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me Booker, baby.
Oh no,
no.
Bring
my boy
I'm
Booker
sorry.
out. Bring Booker out.
I like Booker T, but him on commentary was not good. I'd rather have JR or the King back.
Give me Coach.
Coach was fine for a few weeks there.
His latest run was the shits though.
It was, but what do you prefer that to the Renee?
No, I want two people. I don't want three people. I'm okay with Michael Cole and Corey Graves, or even I don't know. Okay, let's try it. Let's try Renee Young and Michael Cole. and keep Corey Graves on SmackDown. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Percy Watson.
Hey, he's pretty good down there. So is Nigel.
I think they should have done something with the commentary and switch that up a little bit. That would have been cool.
Shake him up.
Shake it up. Well, they did. The Corey Graves thing is number one. He should not be on both shows. That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They're trying to make him the new, JR Cole, like that type of. They're polishing him up for that role. But it's a lot. It's too much. You're right. It's like, when we hear a fucking song by an artist all year round and they're just putting out music all year round, like you get sick of it. We don't need it in our face all the time, like Roman Reigns main events,
Exactly. Well, that's what I was just going to say. Like, and don't get me wrong, I want 2-man booths as well, but I also want 2-hour Raws, and I want titles to mean something, and I want
we want a lot of things.
I want a ranking for the people that are in shots for titles.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Stuff that I want to get into younger too. We brainstormed about last night as well, like different topics for the roundtable as well as covering current stuff. We want to get into that top 10 or top 5 music and maybe, favorite wrestler shows we can do twice a year, updated, favorite wrestlers 2019, similar to like Taz does on his show or something like that. I don't know. I think that'd be a cool idea. But just to get back to SmackDown, I guess, before we kind of close out and thank Younger for the phone call, we had Kairi Sane joining Asuka in Paige's debut here.
Oriental
Express. God, get rid of the fucking stupid wheel, whatever the fuck she's holding. Jesus Christ. Like, we get it. You're a pirate.
I just don't think that they're a team. To me, that they don't...
I do, by the stuff they're wearing.
Oh, they're Asian.
Wow. You guys
okay,
just gave two...
No,
but...
Bastard.
Well, that's exactly how they see it.
100% Donovan's right, and Younger is right, too, because both of their outfits are very outlandish and extravagant, but I'm talking from like a character perspective. And shout out to Todd Martin from the Fix, because he brought this up and I was like, yes, thank you, because this is exactly what I thought when I seen them come out. Their characters don't meld together. Yeah. Asuka's a very pseudo heel-ish type, heel babyface who screams at people, and she's very intense and just totally opposite of super babyface, oh my god, cute little Kairi Sane.
I'm a pirate.
Yeah, like to me it just didn't make sense. Like, you can't just put these people together because they're together. Like, we don't.
Well, I thought
because they're Japanese.
As soon as I saw the team got together, I actually thought, like, I seen a feud immediately. I'm like, oh, these two are gonna feud. Yeah. Like, one of them's gonna turn heel, and it's probably gonna be Asuka.
That would be.
They're gonna probably go at it.
That would be cool. You know what I mean? I don't know how the promos are gonna be in that feud.
Yeah.
But
yes, that's very true.
I like that Paige maybe is the talker for them, and I like that Absolution, or whatever the fuck they're called now, Fire and Desire. Fuck, that's a bad name. They came out, and said like, "Oh, thanks, Paige," and Paige is like, "I'm not here to introduce you." I liked that. It made sense with the Absolution connection from before, and I didn't think it was going to be these two. I thought Paige was going to, bring up somebody completely different. And I heard
I agree.
I heard rumors on Twitter, and shout out to Shane, who was on the show a few weeks back on a WrestleMania preview show, that Tenille was backstage, and I got all fucking excited, and then she didn't show up.
Emma.
Emma. I don't know. I was happy, but I can't get my hopes up like that. So I was pretty upset when I seen the tweet too.
I saw that tweet as well. I think that's true news.
I hope it is, but I messaged Shane right away. I'm like, hey, you don't need to be sending me that. I'm like, first of all, I don't want spoilers. He's like, sorry.
I'll give you one. Money in the Bank. She shows up and she wins the Money in the Bank. The woman's
Holy fuck.
And she,
Are you guys like just
I can see
trying
She's
to get
still coming
me
off that injury. So
these guys are just trying to get me excited, for any of you listening out there, because they know that I would pop like a motherfucker if that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And we also know that that's not going to happen.
That's the way to do it, though.
It is, but...
And we also know that's not going to happen.
It's not.
Awesome.
No, it's not.
How did they treat...
It's not. No, it's not.
How did they treat Emelina for 14 fucking weeks when she did that gimmick? Whatever the hell that was,
Yeah, how do they treat a lot of fucking...
It's very true, but I don't know.
Maybe it'll be the Emma experience when she comes back, like a new thing.
The Emma experience.
Yeah. Maybe.
Let's hope not. Let's
join forces with the Viking crew.
Yeah, sure, and Sarah Logan, and maybe she can get some dreads too, and a couple bead necklaces, and
Oh God.
Now we're talking.
They make their own tools, right? So I don't know. I think that's it, guys. Thanks for coming on, Younger, for the phone call. We haven't done a 2-man, 3-man phone call in a while.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to know if I can get a few pointers out here just before I get out of here.
Absolutely, my friend.
Okay, sounds good. I just want to let everyone know, and I'm pretty sure I sent this to you before the show started. I don't know if you've seen this or not. The WWE on WWE Network this Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, April 21st. The Shield will be having officially their last match in WWE. They are facing Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Baron Corbin. It is on a house show.
Yep.
So they are going to live that main event at 9:30. So if anyone is quite interested in seeing our boy Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jonathan Goodleaf,
for his final match.
Yeah, I can't stay tuned for that. So
yeah, I seen that on the network. They did a promotion for it, and then I seen it on Instagram. And I got to be honest, I left a negative comment, and then I didn't hit post. Like, I wrote it.
Can you share it with us?
It was that bad. You thought you were like, yeah, you know what? No, it's better left unsaid.
I just wrote, like, why? Like, really? Like, question. Like, I didn't understand what the purpose. Like, no one wants to see this kind of thing, or it might have been the eye rolling. But either way, it was a negative comment, and I don't know. I chose not to. You know, it's Diener's last match. Let them have their thing. I just, like, we had this. How many times has the last Shield thing happened now? You know?
Many.
Too many. Too many times.
Yeah, way too many times. Way too many times. In the past 2 months, 2 to 3 months, actually.
It's been crazy. They're, you know, the Dean leaving and the Roman coming back. They're like, oh my God, we have to do this.
Exactly.
But yeah, sorry. More points from you, Young? My bad.
Yeah, just the last one here. With AEW, looks like they're going to be buying into their own show as of right now. It's supposed to be on TNT instead of Turner, which I believe is the dude that owns the actual thing, owns TNT. He won't be paying into it. It looks like AEW is going to be paying that to now. So I guess the brothers and Rhodes will be paying into that. But they said lots of shows have done that. Even Ultimate Fighter, their little TV series that
Like
UFC paid for that until it got big.
So it's like kind of the opposite to the norm in the sense that, like, they're paying for the TV rights rather than the TV rights paying them. Is that what
exactly? Pretty much to keep the show going at least, or keep the show
and get
it
off the ground, right?
Exactly. And it does say here it looks like it's going to be a 2-hour show.
Well, we're definitely going to be covering it on the roundtable, and I mean, I don't plan. Me and Don, again, with the brainstorming that went on last night, we talked about switching that when SmackDown switches to Fridays, and it's probably just not going to work, because if we switch it to the weekend at that point, then it's before Raw, and I don't know. This is a little peek behind the curtain for any of the listeners, but yeah, I'm AEW, man. I guess we can talk about it quickly before we go. Don,
what's this? What's going on?
Well, you shocked me this week with your comment that you said the other day.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do this.
Should we get into it now or no?
I mean, we could.
I don't want to. He's jumping ship potentially, Younger.
What?
No.
Listen, what's this?
Potentially. That's why I said potentially.
Wait a minute.
All the listeners who know what's up.
You're jumping ship, so meaning like you're jumping on the Chris Jericho cruise?
You guys got it. You guys are both wrong, and I'm going over to. I'm just gonna watch UFC now. I'm just gonna cover. There's gonna be no more.
That's all. Yeah. It's okay, Nick. We don't need him on here anymore, anyways.
Yeah.
So
I'm Dean, and this is the last time, guys. So I'm out after this. Tonight is my last officially. Okay, this is the last one.
Well, hopefully we can get him on a phone call for the
Don Moxley
for the UFC segment. But
what a loser.
I don't know. He said that to me this week, and I couldn't believe it. I was shocked that would be even something to.
No, well, I didn't say I was jumping ship. Basically, what I said
potentially.
Is that I'm open. Like, I'm just saying, and there's a ton of fans like me out there who are just like, I don't know, if they put out a really good product, they could very easily win me over if WWE just keeps on the path that they're on. Like, I might be more inclined to watch them than like Raw, at some if that is to happen.
Yeah,
you know
and
what
if
I mean?
the show is built right and. From what I can see and what I can gather, like, they care. They want to do. They're not just in this to make fucking shit tons of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't a. And at the same time with that, they're not in this with the Eric Bischoff mentality of we gotta beat WWE. That's not what they're out to do. So that I love. That aspect of it I love. It's when people talk about, oh, they're going to take over. Like, chill the fuck out, okay?
Yeah, no.
Let's see what happens. And if we have a third or a fourth on top of, Impact and MLW and ROH and more wrestling, then what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
With all that
Yeah,
being, sorry, Younger. I was just gonna say, with all that being, with all that being said, I think that's pretty much it. We'll let you go, Younger, unless you want to get anything else out, and we'll catch you sometime this weekend, hopefully.
No, that's it. I'm pretty much done here with the wrestling news. I'm going to finish this DVD up here of Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Thanks again for sending this to me because it's been really good so far. So maybe we'll talk about them on the next show.
I was just going to say, let's get a review from you. Let's get a review from you next week of the Daniel Bryan DVD. I'd like that.
Of course, I'm down.
Did you catch
totally off wrestling topic. I don't know if any sports fans are here. Leafs, for fuck's sakes. We got to, come on. We're trying to pull a 3-1 lead here against Boston. Now it's 2-2, and now the season is probably over. Yeah. So
Toronto sports, buddy.
It out here. Big game tomorrow night here, and sorry, it would have been it would be Friday night. Sorry, my bad. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and, Toronto sports. The Raptors making a dive for it too.
Good luck.
Yeah, and hopefully my boy Leclerc and Vettel comes out strong next week or for the next race. So,
in Baku,
race over the weekend.
Me and you, we'll have you back in studio next week so we can do the F1 update together. But like I said, check out the beginning of this episode 33 because it was a bit different.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, no.
Other than that, I'm good. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for having me on the show as usual.
All right, brother. Thanks.
I'm doing the phone call.
Thanks for coming on. This is your boy. Are you still your boy or no?
The man, the myth, the legend, actually.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And you're looking at him. You can't see me, but you're looking at him. You
you're
can
listening
hear him.
to
And, more for the future here. And, Don, this is the last time we're talking because I can't believe you just said that. And, but, yeah, you guys have a great night.
You too, bro. Thanks for coming on.
All right, take care.
Bye. All right, Donnie. That's pretty much it, eh?
It's been a good run.
Oh,
and I just want to thank all my fans out there, everyone who's supported my names and many aliases, and yeah.
It's been a good run of Don. I hope he's back next week. He better be fucking with me because, I don't know, we're going to have some words.
Don Moxley.
If he's not. But the final grouping of the three of us, maybe. We'll see. Catch us next week. But I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Me and Donovan hope you enjoyed the little bit of, shooting that we did at the beginning of the show.
That was my bad impression of the laugh.
And yeah, stay tuned for some new things coming from us. We're going to change it up. Don't worry. LookBack Show's coming. Don, I'm looking at my watch. I need to know what the next championship LookBack is.
Oh, get ready.
It's coming.
It's coming. Stay on the fucking lookout, guys. It's going to be good.
If you want to know where that stuff is at, go follow us on Twitter and Instagram at PWLookBack on both of those. Send us a DM. Send us questions, comments, concerns, if there is any. Hopefully not. But if you like the show too, head over to iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Hit the 5 stars on iTunes. Leave us a comment. Leave us a review. We appreciate all that stuff. Like I said, anybody who's listened to the show in the last little while, new listenership, we appreciate the hell out of that. Thank you very much. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you can check me out at Salsa, SCELSA.
At JustDom44.
And at ZJVY93 is Youngers. If you want to get yourself a t-shirt or a sticker or a tank top for the summer. Or a mug, maybe a sweater. There's all kinds of shit on there. Pro Wrestling LookBack, teespring.com/Pro Wrestling LookBack. If you want to send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. I think that's everything. Thanks for checking out the Pro Wrestling LookBack podcast. This is the Roundtable, episode 33. I'm Nick.
I'm Don. Stay classy. May the force be with you.